Good day, YouTubers. Reloading Bench back with you once again. And this is, I think lately, similar lines, an unplanned video. But I'm going to first do a little rant and then go into this package of goodies, this very dusty, dirty package of goodies that was a nugget of a find. So you've seen the last couple videos, which have nothing to do with reloading-ish. Maybe they help me do reloading in other ways in terms of making stuff that supports my reloading hobby with the table saw restoration slash cleaning slash rejuvenation. And then most recently, the radial saw. And the radial saw has got some just incredible flexibility, which I covered a little bit on the accessory bit. And this is along the same lines of that. But I do most of my finding, if I'm not doing, out and about physical garage sales or antiquing places, I'll stick to Craigslist in my immediate area, 20, 30 mile radius. And Craigslist is hit or miss. Anybody who's dealt with Craigslist, I think the next word is associated with that. The first two is flakes. Whether you're buying or selling, there's just no shortage of flakes when it comes to Craigslist. But as of late, I've heard people keep mentioning Facebook Marketplace. And I'll be honest with you, I had no clue what Facebook Marketplace was because I canceled myself, took myself off Facebook January of 2021. It had just become so toxic that, friends couldn't even agree to disagree. And it's a sad thing when you either agree with somebody's position or you need to be off the face of the earth. And that just wasn't for me. So I just stopped. I gave it up and I was done. And I didn't miss it a bit and didn't look back. And I was good. But I kept hearing people talking about, I picked this up on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what is that? So I Googled it. And lo and behold, it's like Craigslist on steroids. I guess the variety or the volume of stuff that I could find in terms of old stuff like this was shocking, to say the least. Shocking in a good way. So that's what led to this. But then there's still the flake factor, because in this particular instance, this package as is had been posted, and I just clicked on the, is it still available message. And that, within an hour, yes, it is. Great. You're a little farther away than I'd like to be. Would you mind shipping and I'll pay the costs? And he's like, sure. Okay. 3 days later, WTF, any update? Oh, sorry, got busy, blah, blah, blah. What? Okay. I'll get to the post office tomorrow and see what size box. Okay, cool. Couple more days go by. I'm like, dude, do you really want to sell? And what's funny is I was talking to a few people, exact same thing. Immediate response, and then they go dark, which, again, kind of like Craigslist. So finally, it was the weekend, and I was out running errands, so I reached out to this guy, and at the time, assuming it was a guy, and I said, hey, are you around? I'll be running errands. Can I just come pick this up? He's like, sure. Let me know when you're heading out, and then I'll give you my address. I'm like, okay, uber secrecy. But ultimately, it worked out. And I didn't even realize that this box is the actual box that all this stuff came in. And this is the Sears Craftsman Radial Saw Accessory Kit, which comes with 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A molding headset, a molding and dado guard, a 7-inch carbide tipped adjustable dado, a 10-inch hollow ground planer blade missing, and a 10-inch ply tooth blade missing, and flexible goggles and instructions also missing. So that's of this particular kit, that's what's in this box. And if you go and look on and I think there's one extra in here. So if you go and try to find this stuff on Fleabay, you're going to pay for any one of these items more than what this guy charged for all 4 of these. So he wanted $30 for everything. $30. And I thought that was that was a pretty darn good deal. So let's go through the goodie box. And again, when you look at the condition of the boxes, old and worn but not abused, you could tell they're aged. But when you look at the contents, depending on which item it is, this molding guard, which will come in handy for other things, is in what I would call pristine condition. It's heavy duty plastic from the 70s. And this covers the blade area when you attach a particular accessory. I'll get that out of the way so it doesn't fall on something. This is really dirty. Another Dado Blade. And what's funny is, again, I was talking to a guy on, again, assuming it's a guy based on the name and the picture, I was trying to talk to him about a Dado Blade that's the Excalibur series, which is, I think, a little step up than this, similar in concept, and he's flaking as well. So I'll spend today cleaning, taking this stuff apart. Oh, I love the instructions in the back. Taking this apart and cleaning it, but fits 9, 10, 12, or 14-inch radial arm table saws with a 5/8 or 3/8 inch, 5/8 or 3/4 inch arbor. Adjust. No need to remove the dado to change width. Simply loosen the arbor slightly and set calibrated dial for grooves widths from 3/16 to 13/16, so almost an inch. Very similar to the Excalibur blade that came with that I picked up with the Radial Arm Saw. This is dirty as all heck. I have one of these, and I guess it doesn't hurt to have more than one, especially when I think I paid more than $30 for one of mine, and that is not coming out, at least right now. And here is another molding head. Yeah, I'd love to see what the price of all this was, but when I picked this up, I thought this was like a USPS box or something. I didn't even pay attention to the box, so as weird as it'll sound, I'll keep the box simply because it's old. All right, let's see if we can. We'll hold off on this one for a second. Looks like we've got, I don't know if that's rust going on or dirt or what, but we'll try and open it. And this is a newer version of the same, actually, I think this is, with the triple heads. Cardboard always gets stuck. Come on now. Maybe it wants to come off this way. All right, so this one is a newer version of this old one, this older one, because this has a triple head and it only has 4 cutters. These cutters have never been used. Never, none of this has ever, I mean, you can tell, none of this has ever been used. This is in phenomenal condition. And again, for the, yeah, this, I don't think this has ever been used. Maybe once. And it looks like a separate, yeah. I don't see any wear. So I'm going to say that's pretty minty. Pretty minty. And let's see if we can get this one open. There we go. This has not been opened in a long ass time. All right, so these, I'm going to say they've been used because I see some sawdust in there, but in terms of condition, these are in exceptional condition. Yeah, these are gorgeous. Gorgeous. Let's see. So I don't think this is rust. I think maybe a little bit of surface rust. that should clean up nicely. And yeah, this one's not in as pristine of condition, so obviously, oh, that's nice. I wonder where this one goes. Actually, that's kind of interesting. This is a triple. Never seen one that's in there like that. All right, so this has obviously been used, and we'll get a good cleaning. But again, other than the rust, all the pieces are there. So this will get its long overdue cleaning. Funny how stuff never fits. There we go. And I don't know if there's a year date on this. Kind of interesting. Copyright 1965. So I'm going to assume it was printed on or about that year, which is a very, very near and dear year to my heart. That's cool. Very cool. All right, that was a key find. And I'll go into a couple more things that I'm going to use the Radial Arm Saw for here in a second. Let me go grab them. If you recall, this is the chuck I picked up, the 1/2-inch chuck that will go on the accessories side of the Radial Arm Saw as an attachment. So that will allow me to use accessories, and the two that come to mind immediately are ones that I've had for years in these old plasticky bags, and every time I touch these, they cut my hands up. Wire wheels, brass wire wheels. And I've traditionally used these with my drill, and get a quick release chuck for the drill. The brass has a quick release. I don't know why the wire, the harder metal wire, requires a bare chuck, but whatever. So when you're trying to wire wheel something with a drill, depending on what the object is, and what I used the brass was for my National Cash Register restoration. So these brass is just a wonderful material, and it's soft, so it won't it's not destructive, whereas the metal is a little more abrasive. Does a little more intrusive cleaning. But to be able to put this on the Radial Arm Saw and chuck a piece of the brass allows me then to have a stationary wire wheel, kind of like on a grinder. My grinder doesn't accept other accessories, so that's a win. Now I can use the Radial Arm Saw for wire wheel cleaning. And in the same vein, I've had these for years too, these drum sanders. Very similar concept to the wire wheel. You chuck the drum sander or the drum into the chuck, and then you have a small rotary drum sander, which is great because when you see the rotary drum sanders, the oscillating ones, they take up a little bit of space in the garage. And again, a whole bunch of different sizes here. So this will come in quite handy and now go into the Radial Arm Saw kit. So love finding this old stuff, especially when people don't want it in their garage anymore, and you can give it a second life because you can turn, again, depending on what you're trying to do on the size of the project, not only a dado cut, but depending on the blade, small incremental planing of objects would. So that's really cool in my book. So repurposing another device and breathing new life into a very old piece of hardware that for the most part isn't made anymore, and I think that's kind of cool. Hello YouTubers, we're going to put this Radial Arm Saw Accessories Upgrade Series to Rest here. I know you, maybe not, might recall a few weeks ago, I haven't even published a video, where I picked up this old 7-inch molding and dado guard that I showed you. Basically a plastic guard that sits on top of the end of the where the saw blade would be when you rotate the head over. So it protects things like other cutters. And this was one particular cutting device that I've been looking for a while. There's plenty of them on eBay, but very few are in as nice condition, with the box in as good a condition, as well as the actual cutter heads. So this has seen little to no use. I'm going to say, based on how sharp these cutter heads feel, no use. So this bolts on where the saw would go, and it is a rotary planer, so you get the effect of using your radial arm saw as a planer for small projects. So I thought that was a cool item, and I've been looking for that. In fact, this whole catalog has a list of cool things you can do with the different devices and such. So the radial arm saw is a pretty cool and very flexible component that people have walked away from, and this is evidence of how well thought out the accessory space was for this particular device. So we will end the radial arm saw accessory series. Now that I said that, I think there's a second series. I don't know which I'll publish first, about turning the radial arm saw into a sander as well. So one of these is going to be the last. So take care.